Hello and welcome. I'm Zilla,
I'm Tortoise.
and this is my stream Ancient Gaming, where we play video games with ancient content in it and talk about it. Today we are doing part 11 or 12 of Hades 2, a video game about Greek mythology, which happens to be something I like a lot. So if you are new, hello, welcome, please feel free to join us. You can always follow along at any of my socials listed in the frame below. I do leave recordings up for as long as Twitch lets me, but you can also see all of my previous recordings of all the games that I've played on this channel at my YouTube channel, Zilla's Athenaeum. And you can always find out when there are going to be new streams at my social on Blue Sky or on Mastodon at Zillable, just like here. So, if you are following along, welcome back. It's lovely to have you. If you are here live, feel free to say hello in chat. We love to hear from you. And I do just want to give a warning that the last few times we have streamed, there have been some interruptions on Twitch, and we don't quite know why. So if we do pop out in the middle of a stream, we will be right back. We didn't leave. Yeah, I think that's all of the intro bits. We are going to be starting in the middle of the game, so if you don't want to be spoiled, feel free to go back and play or watch the rest of the game. And then come back to this on my YouTube channel. Otherwise, I'm going to give a little intro to where we are. In Hades 2, we are playing Melinoe, the daughter of Hades and Persephone, who have been kidnapped by the Titan Kronos, who is here the Titan of Time. It's a conflation of Kronos and Chronos, as in chronology. So we are fighting our way down to the underworld to beat up our grandpa, the Titan of Time, try to get our family back. And also sometimes we go upward to Olympus to help the besieged gods fight off Typhon, a terror from before the time of mortals. Seen here, Melinoe has the black coat, otherwise known as some kind of futuristic jetpack. I have no idea why they put this weapon in the game, but it is hilarious.
Well, in Hades 1, you got a gun, so they had to one-up that.
I suppose so. Magic jetpack with rockets. Sure, why not? And we have our froggy companion, Phrynos meaning toad.
We recently unlocked the ability to have Phrynos as not just a confidant, but a familiar.
Who will come with us on our journey. So without further ado, let us leave this liminal space and get on our way. If you are newly joining us, I know that I've had a bit of a pop on a couple of different venues in the last couple of weeks. So, before we move off of this screen, I just want to talk about Poseidon for a minute. So, Poseidon, one of the three brothers among the Olympians who split the realms, Hades, the underworld, Poseidon, the land and sea, I mean, really the sea, but he's also known as the Earth Shaker for a reason, and then Zeus, the sky and kingship of the gods. One of the odder features that we don't often talk about in modern depictions of Poseidon is his association with horses. He's seen here actually with seahorses mostly depicted. His crown, his girdle, even some sort of abstract ones in his pectoral collar here. But he is actually in ancient Greece associated with land horses as well, and often you will see images of like horses coming out of the sea, or horses being a representative of Poseidon. Actually, in one of the more common iterations of how Persephone came to be, it was Poseidon chasing down Demeter in the form of a horse and mare. And yes, I did say chasing down with the implied. Yes, that's just how relations among the Greek gods go, apparently. Anyway, so where we are in the story, Kronos has abducted the three Fates, which should be impossible because, of course, they're the Fates. They know everything in advance. Sorry. Please carry on.
Oh, I can't re-roll these. Darn. I was hoping for the attack.
Well, maybe you'll get it later. So I did want to welcome anybody who is joining us, in particular from my new podcast, mostly run by my friend Sarah, the Fat Culture Critic. But the podcast is 9 to 5, a sci-fi podcast, where we are doing a watch-through of Babylon 5 and Deep Space Nine, and talking about implications, comparisons, and all of that stuff. And just to stop and talk about Apollo here, of course, the god of light, often associated with the sun, and particularly with music and later with sort of like the sort of proper creativity of humankind, and intellectualism. You can also see his laurel, both on his head and on his shoulders, and in his belt. A reminder of Daphne. Remember how I said that thing about Greek gods chasing people down? So Apollo was struck by the arrow of love and fell for a nymph, Daphne, the daughter of a river god. And she ran from him, cried out to her father to protect her, and, you know, a lesser god can't do anything to Apollo. So instead he turned Daphne into a tree, and that is now our laurel. Our laurel trees are, in Greek, known as Daphne. And Apollo took it as his symbol to wear ever after, because that's not creepy. Anyway, it's a symbol of victory. So he's talking about Prometheus, who is our enemy in this game. As we fight upward, Prometheus is one of our challengers on our way up the mountain. And he is the only Titan who, in the war between the Titans and the gods, sided with the gods. He is the Titan of foresight, so he knows things about the future that others cannot know. So here it is an interesting idea that perhaps he knows the gods are bound to lose. But the other thing that Apollo is mentioning here is, of course, the punishment of Prometheus. Prometheus stole fire from the gods to bring to mortal kind, to help them persist after Zeus was considering abandoning them and restarting the world. And in punishment, Zeus chained him to a rock and had his personal eagle go rip out Prometheus's liver every single day. Forever. Because it would regrow because he's a god and immortal, well, a titan and immortal. And Prometheus knew he was bound to get out of this someday, because he knows a lot about the future. And here he is, out and fighting the gods. An interesting thing. So, yes, welcome to those of you who are here from the new podcast. Also, welcome to anybody who has joined us after my speech, roundtable participation with my colleague Natalie at CSU Long Beach, where we were talking about Hades 2 and gender and sexuality. And really, we could have talked for another 2 hours. There's so much to say. Chaos! I love Chaos. Chaos is my favorite character in these games. NB Pride. Look at them, aren't they lovely? That's an interesting implication. So Chaos is not how we think of chaos as complete, disorder, although order and chaos are opposites. Chaos and cosmos. Chaos is actually the void from which all things spring. And here the implication is that chaos cannot clearly see the surface of the world, which I am fascinated by this idea. Now, chaos is not often personified. Oh, hi Sam. Great to see you. I'm glad you liked the first episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for your help. Your music is amazing. Everybody go follow Samantha Duke. How do you spell your band name again? It's SKALFXK? Alright, I got it. Excellent. But yeah, if you like electronica, especially, something with a little bit more of an anarchist flavor, highly recommended. Hermes is always such a fun god to play with. I've been thinking recently a lot about the depiction of Hermes actually in Stray Gods, where they are depicted as explicitly non-binary and voiced by a non-binary voice actor. Do you remember their name?
Erika Ishii.
Erika Ishii. Yeah, that's right. Erika Ishii. Erika Ishii's great. Arachne, the only good spider. I do love Arachne in this game, and I've always been fond of the story of Arachne, even though I'm not a fan of spiders in real life. She was, of course, a talented weaver, and bragged that she was better than Athena herself, the goddess of crafting, which never leads to good things. So she and Athena had a mandatory weaving contest, and Arachne still won. Arachne actually did beat her. And the gods don't take well to being beaten. And so she was punished by being cursed to weave all her days as a spider, the first spider, and weave her webs. In the Ovid version of the story, the Metamorphoses, part of the reason for the punishment is that Arachne wove a tapestry of all of the ills that the gods have put out against mankind. Stories of rape and slaughter and unjust punishments. And that blasphemy of truth was a part of why she was punished. And Ovid's not doing that idly, because he had a bit of a run-in with the higher-ups himself, telling truth to power and being exiled to what he considered the back of beyond for the rest of his life. Yeah, don't piss off the emperors with your art if you are afraid of punishment, but on the other hand, kind of based. Oh, Nemesis. Ouch. That's one of our lovely romance options, actually, Nemesis. Our tsundere.
Oh, I forgot that you take an exit. Well.
Oh yes, she also likes to take stuff ahead of us.
Sometimes she'll, challenge us to slay more foes in exchange for gold.
And sometimes she takes stuff at the shop before we can get there.
Yeah.
She is on a quest to take our quest from us. Hephaestus. I also love Hephaestus. I love the depiction of Hephaestus here. I love, like, one thing we were talking about in the discussion on gender and sexuality is his relationship with Aphrodite in this game. Because, of course, the traditional stories about him and Aphrodite is that they're married by the decision of Zeus, who is, depending on the version, one or both of their fathers. And Aphrodite may or may not be terribly happy with that, has affairs, especially with Ares, not Ares. I wonder who Ares is. And then Hephaestus gets revenge by making fun of her. But in this version, they actually have a very pleasant relationship, and they talk lovingly about each other, and their relationship is open. Clearly, they're married because they want to be. And the fact that Aphrodite is married to somebody who has a disability, who is not conventionally all of the things that are handsome. I mean, he's got that lovely bear dad bod thing going, which personally is much more to my taste than what is usually attributed. And then, they also, one of the things that she says about him is, he's the only one of my many suitors to understand that I need to go off on my own. And so she does have an affair with Ares. Ares, I did it again. My goodness. I don't know what's up with that. She does have an affair with Ares, but it's not a problem. And the brothers even kind of tease each other about it.
I mean, if one of them is going to be Harry, it's Hephaestus.
That's true.
Anyway, more, gods pushing other creatures around for their own
Oh, poor little sea creatures. You know, someday there is going to be a book of essays about Hades 2. And the chapter that I have maybe committed to writing is going to be about the relationship of gods and mortals in this game. Because I just have so many concerns. Bit of classic witchcraft.
Sheep. Not that I'm going to be using it much.
You're not going to talk to Charon? My goodness, I cannot names today.
The surface was no longer welcoming or safe for her. And now I fear that Erebus is not much better off.
He's always so eloquent.
You're right. She's twice as resourceful as just about anybody. 4 times. Just look out for her, would you?
4 times as many eyes.
Farewell, Lord Charon.
Precious rain.
It does in fact appear to be raining.
Chaps out there, and evidently taught you quite a bit. You're able to surpass me here consistently, but has this proved to be enough?
Can you turn her into a sheep?
No. I can turn the witches she summons into sheep. But bosses are immune.
Because your path toward mastery is yours alone. When you decide you are prepared for more, remember that the oath of the unseen is there for you. As am I.
Never has "I'm here for you" sounded more ominous.
Oh, sisters.
Oops. I know there are ways to tell which one is the right one, but
Oh, so there is one that's the right one. I thought they
Yes.
were just all the right one.
no.
I've said this before. I mean, I think I've said a lot of these things before, but I love the fact that her weapon is these torches.
Thank you, Freenos.
Freenos doesn't turn into a sheep.
No, Freenos will absorb that and not turn into a sheep.
Good froggy. But I love these torches. I love that they have the full and crescent moon inside them. And they kind of look like peacock feathers for some reason. Gives her more of a connection to Hera than she really needs. But, you know, the moon, the witchery, the chthonic nature of the torches, because all of these these underground deities, the
Spiritually, more is to be done. The altar of ashes. There's an incantation that may make your nightly meditations at it better spent.
The consecration of ashes. I prevent.
But yeah, so witchcraft, torches are associated with Hecate and specific in the... Oh, the Shade of Kronos is here. I really don't understand how they decided to have that there. There's no particular reason to think that Kronos could show up at more than one place. And also, I don't know what this projection actually is. I don't know if they ever explain it, do they? Nah, he just shows up.
The shard.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Choice.
It's like, clearly he's not here.
Your movements are invisible to me. I see you plainly where you stand. A trespass for which you shall suffer, although regrettably not by my hand right now. Not yet.
Molu?
Now then.
I love the little familiar tokens. They're so cute. I don't know how Freenos has this tassel on his back, but it is very cute.
Come on.
For me.
You know, one thing we didn't spend any time on in the discussion of sex and gender in this game was the major enemies, right? Because, you know, we have very male major villains, Kronos and Typhon, both, you know, explicitly coded as male. And, you know, Kronos in particular is the father of the gods and your grandfather. And Typhon is always figured as male in the stories.
They call him the father of all monsters in this game.
Yeah, that's one of his common epithets, because, you know, all of those other Greek monsters, like including Cerberus, actually, are said to be his children. And he is quite monstrous. They did a good job. But
Yes, I accept this message.
we do have some interesting female mid-bosses, right? You can hear now the distant singing of the Sirens and Scylla.
Great enough.
So this game very much drawing on a combination of Hesiod and the Theogony and the Odyssey for its characters, where the first Hades game drew much more on the Iliad and the hymn to Demeter, the story of Persephone's.
You have anything you want to share about the upcoming Odyssey movie and feelings thereof?
Oh gosh. so my friend Chris woke me up the other day with a text that was like, "So have you seen the trailer yet? I'm sure you have thoughts." And I'm like, "So what you're asking for is like a 20-minute exhausted rant about the armor," which I then proceeded to provide. So at that point I actually hadn't seen any trailers, but I have seen promotional stills, and I don't mind some artistic liberty. Like, when I saw that Nolan was gonna use Corinthian helmets with the ones with the horsehair crests, so I was like, well, you know, that's not the right kind of armor, but it is really like what's recognizable as Greek. So like, I'm not the most upset about it, even though when literally Family Guy has done a better job of representing the Bronze Age than you have. But like, love these depictions of the gods so much. But so like the armor in those promotional stills, like one of the ones you could see was like, it looked plastic and 3D printed. It was like basically full plate painted black. The helmet was not just a Corinthian helm, but like a matte black Corinthian helm with a black crest that went into a ponytail at the back. Like, not his hair, not the guy's hair, the crest became a ponytail that was woven with bones. What is that? What? Like, what? Well, the answer to what that is that the costume designer used AI to come up with ideas. And it is about what I would expect from a costume designer who was not only willing but excited to use AI to come up with their costume ideas. Because it's hard to imagine a good creative who really wants to use AI in this way. To do the art that they are supposed to do. I don't understand that. Like, so, the short version is that it's bad. It's just very bad. The armor looks terrible. It doesn't look like metal. It doesn't look like it fits. It doesn't fit the time period. It doesn't even fit a combination of time periods, because what on earth is that crest? And that's just one set of armor. Like, they're all that bad. And then I did see the trailer, and there are enemies in full-on shiny silver medieval plate armor. What is that? So, like, that's also just baffling. Just the choices have been made here. A lot of choices that have been made. But one other thing that just really got to me from the very first still I saw, which was not even anybody in armor, it was just, are we surprised that Skilla was talking mostly? How many mouths do you have? Was it 6?
Jetty is rather perceptive then, or I am indeed an agent of night. This realm has fallen to the Titan. We shall see it restored to its rightful rule. No matter who
I don't think that's what she meant by agent.
You were right. Agent on the hunt. Your search is over, agent lady, because you will find a bigger talent in this game or out. Just watch.
Well, this is what I was talking about in terms of very gendered enemies here in the mid-level. I love Skilla and the Sirens. They're excellent, even if that's not how Skilla or the Sirens look in any of the mythology. The Sirens, of course, being bird women, and Skilla being a completely non-humanoid monster with 6 heads. But this is lovely.
One thing, you may have shared it, or somebody else on my timeline may have shared it, but I saw somebody, like, posting on Blue Sky, like, you know, one of the maps of, like, Odysseus's purported journey, which goes all over the fucking place, and they're like, you know, like, Nolan's movie seems like it's going to be so serious, but, like, Odysseus is just a chaos gremlin who is bad at navigation because he pissed off half the gods.
Mostly Poseidon, but yeah.
But, like, yeah, it's an epic, but Odysseus is a trickster at heart.
Yeah, so I was getting at, like, the color palette that Nolan is using. It's that grim dark color palette from, like, the early 2000s. Like, we're gonna have, like, you know, the most serious and realistic, grim, dark, gritty thing. And it's like, why are you doing the Odyssey then? What would draw you to this rather than the Iliad? Because at least the Iliad is a war story, right? The Odyssey, even within, like, the poem, the Odyssey is a tall tale, a set of tall tales. Like, yeah, there's some action scenes, but, like, most of it is like, and then I encountered a witch, or, you know, and then there was a grand whirlpool that sucked every boat near it down, and then there were these miraculous bird women, you know, like, it's you know, it's Odysseus telling someone the story of why he's been gone 10 years. And, like, we have no idea, even within the poem, whether he's just making that nonsense up. Right? Like, he's deliberately an unreliable narrator. Because he's a trickster, like Tortoise was just saying. Yeah, he is a master strategist, which they use him as here in this game. But, like, setting him as the hero of a grim, dark war epic? No. You don't want to see grays and browns in the beautiful, vibrant Mediterranean Sea where the colors are bright, sunlit white paint and cerulean, clear oceans and bright, growing green, and a culture where the statues are painted in these, like, vivid primary colors to bring out their features and their grandness. And, like, this is a story about that magic and grandness that you get from the myths. How can you convey that in black and brown and gray? I don't understand it.
Yeah,
I don't understand why Odysseus is sitting in the dark wearing a sack.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about the statue color paint thing.
Polychromy is the
Yeah,
word.
and he's doing the opposite of that.
Polu, meaning many. Chrome, meaning color. Polychromy. That synth she keeps saying is the name of the jetpack thing. It's not a word. It sounds like a word. It's certainly a very Greek sounding set of phonemes, but it's not actually a word. It keeps reminding me actually of of Raven from Teen Titan. This is Astaroth Metreon Zinthos. Because of course any name would end in like a different ending. Xinthos probably, Xinthek, Xinthon. Couple of possibilities, but anyway, so I did see the more recent trailer for the Nolan Odyssey movie, and it looks less terrible in motion than it did in stills. But I'll grant that they had a low bar to clear. So Echo.
I wish you knew what you were doing in a place like this. Though you can't just tell me, can you? Your heart must have been broken.
To be here in the Field of Sorrows.
Heartbroken.
The trailer, it actually looked kinda okay. Like, they were speaking in very contemporary English, which, I could see taking people sort of out of the, like, elevated aesthetic that it seems to be trying to go for. They mostly showed conflict scenes. They really made one of Penelope's suitors out to be the big bad, which you could work with that. I just don't know what they're gonna do with this, and I really, after seeing the aesthetics, I really don't trust it. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm probably not gonna subject myself to the movie unless there's like a reason to. I also never watched Troy for similar reasons. Like, why would I do that to myself? I don't need to do that.
Flourish and reveal my path.
Although, if the audience demands, I may, but I'm not gonna guarantee that I will. We'll just put it that way. But I just assume these are gonna be bad because they usually are.
Now my reward.
Now you're saying, to go back to a different thing, you're
Yes.
saying that Xynth rather, is like not really a Greek thing because it would have an ending, but like a lot of Anglicization, like that
Oh,
appears
yeah,
as an
no,
ending in
like-
Anglicizations of Greek words.
I
like
didn't
hyacinth.
mean to imply causality. It isn't a word, and also it doesn't have an ending. Because of course, you're totally correct. A lot of anglicized Greek words lose their ending, or have it altered in some way. I'm actually having trouble thinking of an example, but I'm sure you have several to mind.
Well, I was thinking of hyacinth in this case.
Right. Hyacinthos.
Probably amaranth, I'm guessing, is Greek.
Yes.
So, let's see. Sorry, I get to upgrade my hex, which I haven't been using. What's up here? Sure, we'll do that. And then that.
I do really like that image of Selene. It makes her look dusky, which I approve of.
Comfort me.
But yes, I typically have low expectations of high-budget Hollywood reproductions of Greek mythology, unless there's someone involved who, like, really obviously cares. And is not just doing it as Oscar bait. There have been a couple of times in my life where I've considered
On my authority.
doing a retelling, probably in text form, like a novel or something of the Iliad, or maybe just the Trojan War in its entirety. But I consider doing it from, like an interesting perspective. Like, what if I do it as Iris, the messenger of the gods? Something that hasn't been done. This is why I love, part of why I love, because it's just really great. Wrath Gotta Sing so much is because it's just such a unique take on this old story. I mean, where else are you going to find trans Achilles and cow goddess? Dun dun dun. Like, just if you haven't read it and you have any interest in it, I actually have a couple of videos about it on my channel, on my YouTube channel, because I love it so much. If you want a real recommendation and some discussion of why, you can go there. Or you could just read it, because it is so much fun. It's so good and so wild.
It's like he's formed a shell.
Yeah. This depiction of Cerberus is actually much more in line with how he is described in most of the stories, of like just being terrible to look upon. and utterly destructive and alien.
Just getting started.
The way that he is most of the time here, where he just looks like, you know, Clifford with 3 heads, is a little bit goofy.
But he's a good boy. He's just got the malaise, or what is it called? What are they calling it?
Miasma?
Miasma. Right now. Just a touch of the miasma.
Poor doggo.
Now I release you.
See?
3 red and many-fanged maws turn now appreciatively toward the princess of the dead.
He's not a bad boy. He's just misunderstood.
Feel better, Cerberus.
Oh, hey.
It's the red shade.
My destination.
Little Froggo.
Dip.
Coax.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay.
But yeah, it is interesting in this game, to come back to my point about the boss fights. They are actually kind of evenly split, aren't they?
Access.
So we have Hecate, we have Scylla and the Sirens, we have Cerberus and Charon. On the surface... Okay, we have Polyphemus, as they say.
Just a few
Eris, Prometheus, and Typhon, so...
Okay, so it is still balanced more towards the menfolk. But
I mean, although
it's
it depends
close.
whether you count all of the Sirens together or if it's just one boss.
But it is interesting how striking the Sirens and Eris are as characters, as bosses. Like, the Scylla and the Sirens are kind of the best boss fight, in my opinion. In my non-playing the game opinion.
Yeah, even the first time that I fought them, I was getting my butt kicked. But I was just like, this is awesome.
Like, that's just the most fun to watch. There's a song. Oh.
All bound in chains of heartless abandonment. The erstwhile lord and master of the dead now is a prisoner within the realm the fates themselves decreed was his by right.
I'm sorry, Father.
Such a cacophony occurred after you last visited. Exactly when I cannot say. All of the Titan's wretched servants flew into a panic.
Oh, that's right. Last time we were down here, we actually managed to beat him.
What transpired?
God, I love Hades' voice.
Perhaps they were concerned for their master, or busy trying to bring him back to life. Because I slew him, finally. And it won't be the last time.
Darkness. And you accomplished that which once took half the blasted strength of Olympus. All on your own.
Not on my own at all. I had their strength, if not their support, as you've given me yours. Father, we can stop him. And for now, we can kill him.
That's not the usual order of those things, is it?
Of the renewed zeal. This entire plot of his is driven by the same impulse. Then kill him if you must. At least, his many deaths ought to keep him occupied.
Because, of course, you can kill an immortal, but they'll come right back.
Granted. Go on now.
No pets. What was I talking about?
Talked about the Nolan's Odyssey.
Oh, well, we were talking about the Sirens.
Oh yeah.
Like the music is, you know, they always do. Supergiant always does such an amazing job with the music, and I know that like the musicians are part of the staff, right? They always have been. Like if you listen to the music of Bastion or Transistor or Pyre, it's amazing. It's incredible, and this is no exception. And so they made a boss that is musical, and it works incredibly well. It works incredibly well with the theme of the Sirens, who of course are musicians in their own right. Having Scylla be the lead is a little bit funny, but they also bring in Charybdis, which is, you know, just great. It's great.
Yeah, the version of the fight that has Charybdis is just, again, the first time I was just like, the first time I fought Scylla and the Sirens, I was grinning from ear to ear. When I first fought Charybdis, I was laughing the entire time.
And then, you know, on the trek up the mountain, we have to fight Eris, and Eris in this game is just such a delight. She is, you know, I heard it described as like manic pixie homicide girl or something like that.
Or Nightmare Girl or something like that.
Yeah. Like she's complex and she's friendly in this almost hostile, definitely hostile, honestly way. She's another romance option, and it's such a strange relationship, but it makes so much sense. She has a loving nickname for Melinoe, which is Trouble, which you'd usually think would be applied to Eris. Like it works so well, and then she's wielding her own weapon that we saw in the previous game, in the aspect that we saw there, with all of its details. So she's fighting in a way that we fought as Zagreus in the previous game, but it's so very suited to her that it's easy to forget that you've seen it before, because it fits her even better than it ever fit you. You know, as Zagreus.
600 gold.
And whether you win or lose to Eris, she just shows back up in your life because you can't hurt each other in the crossroads. And I'm not going to say that the male bosses are not interesting, because obviously they are. Like Polyphemus, I talk about every time we see him. I love his design. I love his little sheepy on his back. I love the like blindfold with an eye on it. You know, I love the fact that when you beat him, he just falls asleep. You know, Prometheus is fantastic. He's made friends with the eagle. His you know, he's got tricks. He's got attacks that are all about, you know, keeping track of what's coming at you. His design is impeccable. Just like...
Your eyes do not deceive. I'm as hale and hearty as can be.
Typhon is honestly pretty boring compared
Is it
to everything
really?
else. It's just, you have to beat up on him a lot. And he summons monsters. Like, I mean, granted, like, he doesn't really have a personality or anything just by his nature. He's just, like, all-devouring or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, he's interesting to watch because his visual design is fascinating.
That's fair.
You more than anybody ought to know results of any worth take time.
Ah, so then you wish to make a habit of such unceremonious appearances as this.
like, I love the Kronos fights. I love his design. I love that he's got gold and sand everything and hourglasses that restore his health. Attacks that slow time. Attacks with the scythe that, you know, clearly bore a hole through reality into chaos. And like the clock theme in the second half, just like, it's all very good. When we were talking through romance options, I do find it incredibly interesting that, like, your two male romance options are very, like Moros is incredibly shy and diffident, and you know, and Icarus is like very boy next door, and then your female romance options are fucking Nemesis the tsundere and Eris the chaos goblin. Like, this is incredible. I love it so much. Were you saying something?
No.
Just concentrating on avoiding all of those little globes. Ah, you turned it into a sheep. It's so cute.
Okay.
He's such an egotist.
Ah. I mean, I have a lot of health. I'm not. Ah.
Such a ridiculous weapon. Like, I love this little, like, ticking clock attack, too. It's just so good.
Ah. I'm always bad at dodging that.
Oops.
Turn some things into sheep.
Yay! I'm almost sad that they don't leave little sheepy ghosts. Almost.
Oh boy.
It would be funny if you could turn him into a sheep.
I can't turn him into a sheep, but I can deal damage with it, and I think that's what killed him.
Excellent.
Because, like, it briefly said immune, because you can't be turned into a sheep, but it still deals.
For the underworld.
Alright.
Victory!
I see it. Such power. The chamber.
The gutted grand hall of the former house of Hades eerily lies still. Knowing the immortal Titan shall return, the Dark Princess pursues an object that may be the key to her predicament.
It should be in the prince's chamber still.
Oh,
But
hello.
first, a shade to free.
That shade needs you, Phrenos. Well done.
Phrenos has magic shade freeing
Just
powers.
as it was.
Ooh, another dot.
The chambers of the missing underworld prince lie in a perpetual state of utter disarray, marked by the passage of time, but otherwise untouched. For who would dare?
Just as we surmised. To the abyss of the subconscious I descend. Now the mirror. Night and darkness guide me to my blood beyond the grasp of time.
Zagreus messing with his hair. But these little conversations just remind me how much I miss Zagreus's snark.
Just as I'm about to get my hair under control, who are you and what have you done with my reflection? Only joking. I remembered everything just as you said, particularly since you're here again so soon. Where were we?
I was trying to persuade you to take me at my word that I'm your sister from a future time in which the Titan Kronos has usurped the House of Hades. I need to stop him and require your assistance.
I have a wide variety of questions first, even knowing that our time apparently is limited. Let's start. Why me? Although I am the designated security specialist around here, so perhaps I know the answer to that one.
So
Some
confirming
security
that it's
specialists.
after Hades
Kronos
1.
caught the house entirely off guard. But you're my closest kin. You've subverted the will of the fates before and slain gods, if not titans. I also lack the means of reaching anybody else this way.
Well, great. I feel that strong kinship between us already. Where even is this Kronos, and what would you have me do if and when I locate him? A two-part for you.
I don't know where Kronos is exactly in your time, though I do have a lead. His remains were scattered to the deepest pits of Tartarus, which means he's probably recovering below where you reside. As for what to do if you can locate him, nothing as yet. We'll get to that.
I hate to break it to you, Melinoi, but this isn't all that comprehensive a plan, especially for something you've been planning all your life. Do I just wait for you to work through the details, or...
No, look, you're security specialist. Begin an investigation, though in absolute secrecy. Is anything amiss anywhere in the house or in Tartarus? Any unusual activity from Satyrs, for example?
We've had our share of safe problems, though not anywhere nearby. But I can have a look around. What about you? Wait, are you in bedchambers?
What's left of them, yes. I can only reach you like this while we're in the same location across time. At any rate, I have to find a means for you to destroy the Titan there before he regains his full strength. But... blast.
What do you have to go again? And don't wait up on my account. I'll see what I can do and speak to you when next you want my dreams. Take care, sister. We'll sort this out.
You make it sound so effortless. Farewell, brother. Until we see each other next.
Like, it's such a contrast in the...
Suddenly me again. Hey, when do I wake up?
It's such a contrast when he abruptly goes serious, right? Like, it just reminds me how flat Melinoi's affect really is. I mean, affect isn't the word I want,
I'm
but
counting on you.
that's...
She's generally rather serious and earnest.
Yeah, and like that
Can you believe it, little one?
isn't,
I
I
did it.
think,
I got him.
the best that they could have done with her. Like, it does kind of make sense, but it's also just like they could have done more with her, made her more of a character in her own right.
Everything alright, Dora? Any new hauntings need evaluation or anything?
I'm fine. It's just maybe a bit of a slump is all. Happens, right? I'll get over it.
Good. I'm fine, really.
Unfolds. You brought the Titan low again. What transpired after that? Was your bygone brother more cooperative?
He's not bygone. He can't die either.
from a bygone era.
Perhaps he'll turn something up. I still scarce believe it's truly his past self I've spoken to.
Imagine how he feels. Continue to check up on him, but not a word of this to anybody else. Time flows ever forward, and we are not meant to travel opposite that stream.
It shouldn't be possible.
We determine what is possible, Illinois.
Well, given the themes of the game, it makes sense to be messing with the timeline. I'm surprised that they even bring it up in that way.
Oh, it's you.
Eris.
So what's been going on with you and Kronos anyway? You keep beating him, but he keeps coming back. I like how pointless it seems, but there has to be more to it, right?
Come on, Eris. I'm not about to reveal the critical details of my task, especially to someone who had every opportunity to be part of it to begin with. Go about your business.
How about you just give me a little hint? Are you planning to use his own powers against him? Break free our family members one by one? Anything like that?
Not telling you.
Beam!
I love her so much. Like Eris has so much personality. And Malinois is really just kind of a foil for it. Like, why does Eris call her trouble?
You'll have what
Huh?
gold I may find, as I require what supplies you may spare. It's all here.
Oh, one thing that I was gonna say is, like, you can see the frogs beneath that little pier. Phrenos's family, perhaps.
Nemesis must have a head start.
And here's the trickster himself.
Cerberus back to his senses was successful. At least temporarily, notice. He wandered off to Tartarus only to be cast out into the fields again.
That's what I gathered, yes. In Tartarus he seeks his master, my father, whom I happened upon bound in chains. Kronos is torturing them, mocking them.
Kronos is using them to get at you. Instilling new emotions that compel you to throw caution to the wind. Remember, wars are won and lost in hearts and minds.
They don't really lean into any of Odysseus's tricksterness in this game either, which is a bit sad.
And just look at the mess I'm in now.
Like, they portray him as wanting to get the last word when he goes to seek closure with some of the various, people that he's interacted with in the Odyssey who are characters here. And he's always very insistent on getting the last word.
Garlic.
But other than that, yeah, not a whole lot.
You need a nightshade?
Oh yeah, I need a nightshade. I might have just grown one. I can't recall. And wheat.
Grow and flourish. 2 further victories.
Well, this seems like a really good place to call it for the day. So thank you all so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you. And we will be back, as far as I know, this time on Saturday's Future. So until then, keep learning, friends.